Howdy folks, TJ here, fresh back from Amiwest, and I survived wearing an Atari shirt to an Amiga event. I always do because I'm among friends, and if you watched my last video, it was just a precursor, hey, I'm heading to Amiwest, here's what the show is a little about, and I thought I would kind of do a recap. I also did a small walk around of some of the booths there at the event and the whole kind of room. It's not booth by booth and talking to the presenters and all that stuff, but just a quick walk around that I think you'll enjoy. So let's talk about Amiwest. Did I have a good time? Absolutely. At the beginning of this, I think what I'll do is someplace either right before this or during this time, I'll have a couple of pictures of me among friends. There's a group of people that I hang around with generally at the event. I know mostly everybody there, although there's quite a good showing this year. There's a banquet that's held on Saturday night, and I counted about 70 people. 70 people all in the same room, munching, crunching on food, and then having a keynote speaker at the banquet. Gary Hare, former CEO of Amiga Inc., was a pleasure. It's amazing that some of these, and we'll call them older folks because I'm an older folk, they're very good speakers. Much different than, I'll call it some of the youth and some of the people of this day and age. They use too many likes, they don't think about what they're talking about. They're just out there flapping their jaws. And I don't want to say that, but in a way it is, because when you talk to somebody that knows what they're talking about, you can really feel it. You can sense it. They talk about it well, and they don't do lots of ums and ahs and likes and all that stuff. And so far, most every speaker I've heard at these banquets is just like that. They're very intricate. They're knowledgeable. You can tell they're smarter than a Dickens, and it's a treat. Even though I was not an Amigan per se back in the day that Gary Hare was a short-time CEO there, but I could tell the guy's been around the block. He was former CEO of Philips over in Europe, I believe. Not a small company. The guy knows what the hell he was doing, right? So it was a treat. Even though, like I said, I'm an Atarian, listen to him speak because it's of a time and generation that I love and I appreciate. So let's chat about Amiwest in general. So I did arrive on Friday. The event is basically a 4-day event. It starts on a Thursday and Friday, which is what they call a DevCon, which are developers that come out, and there's some virtual people developing, some there, and it's a little bit of a, hey, you want to develop for the Amiga? Here's the current stuff that's going on. So some of the developers show up early, Thursday, Friday, which is kind of cool. Friday night, things start jostling around in the room. They're getting it set up for the show, which for the end user consumer part of it is basically Saturday, Sunday. And so Friday night, people start checking out the room and going in there and setting up, and people are generally welcome, and you go in there and you're chatting and helping them when they say, hey, grab this or whatever. So it was really, Friday night starts the fun. You start seeing old friends, literally old friends, because most of us are old, although there's a few youngsters there, which is kind of cool. And so we have a good time Friday night. The booze typically starts coming out probably Thursday when some of the developers show up. But the really key night for the boozathon, the Amiwest boozathon, is Saturday night. And we'll talk about that in a bit. And I'm drinking my morning fufu cappuccino Nespresso drink. Waking up. This is Monday morning right now. I arrived home yesterday, Sunday. Anyway, so Friday starts it off, and then Saturday morning about 10 a.m. is when the event basically starts. So there's tables that have people showing off their stuff, whether it's actually somebody selling something or just somebody that's a Amiga enthusiast, a Commodore enthusiast, a retro computer enthusiast, because not everything at this show is Commodore or Amiga only. There's a mixture of some things. So there's tables. And then there's a seminar area that's got a whole bunch of chairs, a nice big display, a projector screen up, and there's sometimes presenters that come from overseas or virtually via that. And there's sometimes speakers at the event that actually are up there chatting, and then they use the screen to show off their presentation. So during both days, Saturday and Sunday, it's action-packed with all of these seminars. Now, not every seminar may be for you. Sometimes they're about a game. Sometimes they're about a WebKit, whatever it is. I tend to enjoy most of them, but I also want to enjoy the other room also. But there's ample time to do both because there's a break, there's lunch, and what's a treat is, and I think it's part of the people that sponsor the event, they buy pizzas most every year. So a whole bunch of pizzas come in around lunchtime. And pizza's here, stop what you're doing, and people converge on the pizza, grab a few slices, and start enjoying a little bit of a lunch. So you don't have to necessarily peel away for lunch and come back. You've got some food there for yourself. So good pizza every year as of late. And then the event is mostly tables, booths that you walk around during the day. And this is not a huge event. So you can typically walk through rather quickly, hone out the few that you want to check out more in depth, and then sit there and chat with that person. But even that, it's not something that's going to take you hours and hours and hours of walking around hundreds of tables. There's just, two really big rooms. I don't know how they break it up, but a whole bunch of tables that basically have from the Sacramento Amiga Club has tables, and then some other presenters have tables. And so there's enough to keep you busy while you're not watching seminars. And then you peel away from that and go watch some seminars, and it's quite enjoyable. So I had a good time both days. Was there anything groundbreaking at this event? Yes and no. The Amiga A1222, previously named Tabor, officially has been paid for by Trevor. 110 boards have been made and paid for. Now they're being dispersed. So I guess they're in transit to AAA. Here in the United States, AAA is a automobile association where if you break down on the side of the road, you call AAA and you get help. Well, there's a AAA over in Europe that basically is a conglomeration of I think Amiga Kit, Aeon, and somebody else that is officially reselling the A1222 computer, which now I don't think have a big website that has click here to order. You have to email them in advance, get pricing and all that stuff. But they are taking, I believe, orders at this time. Now, 110 doesn't sound like a lot of widgets, right? But in a small community, a small platform of this day and age, that's a good little chunk of boards. And like Trevor, kind of says, or anybody, if those 110 fly through and get sold quickly, then they'll obviously make more. If they don't, then don't expect tons of them to be out there at people's stores waiting years from now to be ordered. So if you're in the arena to buy your first Amiga 1 or just want to add to your Amiga heritage and computers, you could do that now. Now, unfortunately, I don't know the exact pricing, but from what I've seen, the board alone is $1,100, which is almost twice as much as what years ago they were speculating that they would like to see it for. So that's unfortunate, but if you've been following Amiga, you know the 8-cube boards are about that same price, right? So I can kind of understand the pricing scheme. Would they sell more if the price was lower? I would think maybe they would probably add a handful of extra orders in there of maybe people like me, because I own an X5000. Do I see a need to go out and spend $1,100 for a board only? No, not at this time. I'll be honest. You got to be honest about that. But if I didn't own an Amiga X5000 and I didn't need the most powerful one and I just wanted to dabble and experience it, then yeah, I could buy it a little cheaper. Buy the board. I've already got little ITX case, and a lot of us have stuff at home already, right? But you could buy a complete, I believe, package for roughly around $1,600, which is a lot of money. And I think that's euros, by the way. I'm not sure if this is dollars, euros. Like I said, there's no official web page that I have found that has a big splash screen that says, here's what you get, here's what the price is. I think there's some still speculation, some asking, some emailing. That's what you tend to get with a smaller smaller type of companies, right? It would be nice if it was splashed out there and official. Maybe it is. I'm just not finding it as of yet. But anyway, that's probably the biggest news that finally, after years, because the A1222 formerly Tabor, it was announced in like 2014. So it's almost a decade later. That's a long time. Now, lots of stuff has happened in between and COVID and other things. But there's also just some stuff that happens along the way that they didn't plan on. Or maybe, there's something in my mouth, a piece of hair. Business is business, right? If you're going to get something done, you got to get the freaking thing done. But there's stuff that happens. We realize that. But the good news is that you can finally get one. I don't know how many they're going to sell. The odds are I myself at $1,100 for board only will not be buying one. But I own an X5000, so I don't necessarily need it. Now, for some reason, I fall onto a little gold pot in the corner of my room later. Maybe I will, but as of today, I won't be. But that's good news for you. Other cool things at the event. There's this cool wireless joystickle way to connect to your Atari 800 XL, Commodore C64, Amigas, and some other computers. Wireless modern-day joy pads, wireless ones, to your computers, which is really cool. So there was a seminar there for that. And in my walk-around, I actually briefly talked to the guy, and he's sitting there using a wireless, I'll call it an Xbox, Microsoft, modern-day joypad type of device on his Amiga or Commodore, which is kind of cool. I may get one of those one day for my Ataris. So, yeah, there's some fun little things at the event. There were plenty of tables, a lot of older hardware people just showing off stuff. There was an Acorn computer, and in the United States, Acorn wasn't popular, but there was an Acorn table that had an Acorn computer there. Lots of older Amigas. There were some Los Gatos display that Chris put on that were from some computers that never made it in the world of Amiga, but there's banners, there's some plastics, a keyboard showing you the direction that Amiga may have taken, but the lost Amigas there was a neat display of that, and my video will kind of show that a little bit. So it was fun. Saturday night, I drunk like a Dickens like the rest of the lot. I didn't stay out quite as late as normal. I stayed up until 1 a.m., and then I slowly departed the room, walked back to my hotel room, and crashed. And then my hoteler, Eric, strolled in after me at, I think, 2-something. Thank you, Eric. By the way, he allowed me to stay in his room. He had a nice room there at the Hampton, and I crashed with him. So thank you, Sir Eric, for letting me stay. We had a good time. He's part of the little group that I generally hang around with and have a good time. So we got to drink and be merry. Lots of whiskey, lots of beer. In general terms, Saturday night was your typical after the banquet. We all converged and had a good time. The banquet on Saturday night after you eat, Gary Hare, former CEO of Amiga Inc. and former CEO of other things, I think like Philips, was a treat to listen to. He was very friendly. He was well-spoken. You can tell the guy is very bright. And like I said, you can listen to some of these old-timers, and I'm an old-timer. I'm perfectly fine being called that, that know what the hell they're doing and have been there. They've been around the block. So it was really fun listening to his stories about his brief time, I think it was a year or two, as Amiga CEO. And he actually came out and said it was a failure during my time, but he laid out what was on his mind, what his plans were, what could have been, and was about to be if things were legitly followed that he was trying to do. So it was interesting to listen to his stories about days that we all look back to. So it was quite fun having that. And then after his discussions, we all peeled off, cleaned up the room, getting it ready for the next day. Because these rooms, it's one big area, but they have it separated with some curtains. And so we quickly moved chairs out, tables out. And then for a while, many hours, we sit in that room and drink and talk about everything, anything, whatever comes to mind. and we had a good time. So if you are a people person, this event has a great during event time and after event time. You got to make it what you want to make it. So if you're good at mingling, it's a lot of fun. Saw a lot of old faces, lots of new faces, people I've never met before. So generally had a great time. Sunday, for me, I live about an hour and 15 minutes away from the event. So it's not too hard for me to where I could enjoy part of the Sunday. I like to enjoy part of Sunday, and then I like to get out there midday, head home, because I'm at that point missing my home, missing my family, and just want to get home and wrap up the weekend by doing some things on Sunday and then chilling, maybe watching a little football, which I did, and then remembering the event and remembering days of old. So as I'm driving home, I'm thinking, this was a fun event. I enjoyed the seminars, I enjoyed the people, I enjoyed the booths. It was in general fun, and it very well attended. This is not, from what I gathered, the Amiga 38 event that just happened the previous week had like 800 people. This event, like I said, I counted at the banquet about 70, but that doesn't mean everybody attends the banquet. Not all do. So I'm thinking this Amiwest was around 100 people, give or take, walking and shifting through over this 2-day weekend, which is a nice little show. It's not a huge show, but we got to realistically look at it. Here in the United States, there's an event I've never been to, PRGE, Portland Retro Gaming Expo or whatever, that probably has hundreds and hundreds of people, like the Amiga 38. But it's around gaming. Gaming worldwide is a different ball of wax than retro computers. Retro computers are more specific, right? Like in Europe, the Amiga and the Commodores and the Spectrums and the Amstrads and all these things held on a lot longer than we did here in the United States. And over there, Amiga 38 is a huge event. We don't really have that size of event that I've seen here in the United States that's for a specific retro or computer platform like Atari, Amiga, whatever it is, for really old stuff. Now, there are lots of events and shows I've never been to. I know there's ones probably for TRS-80 and you name it, but I don't know of any that attract 800 people. Normally, it's probably in the same ranges as Amiwest, around 100, give or take, which is a fun size, intimate, but big enough event to make it fun for everyone. So I think it's really cool, and I'm glad that the Sacramento Amiga group and club continue to put this on. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of hard work for them, and I just enjoy attending. I've been attending since 2010. I think I've only missed maybe a handful of events during that course that I've only missed. So needless to say, I think I've attended at least 8, 9, or 10 of the Amiwest so far. And I continue, and I look forward to going to many more. So let me stop yapping there. I'm going to show a walk around of the booths and the seminar area. It was done on Sunday morning before the event really kicked off. So there's some empty tables. There's some tables that don't have their widgets and wares turned on. But it was my opportune time to quickly go through and just do a quick video and show the placards of what was supposed to be or what is at the table. It's not one that shows you each and every table of them showing off what they're doing in its depth. It's more of a quick walk around, me flapping my jaws, saying hi to some people, and showing the general atmosphere of what the Amiwest show would be. And on Sunday morning, there's some stragglers that had drunk a little bit too much, drunk literally, the night before. You're supposed to start at 10. Not all of them quite make it at 10 a.m. in the morning. Sometimes the show can start a little later. So at the time I went there, I just kind of did a quick walk around, showing you what the general atmosphere is like. And if you want more in-depth information, I invite you to say, come to Amiwest. If you're in the United States, it's a flight away. Come here and meet people, enjoy people. Don't rely on people like me to, make in-depth videos that show you each and everything. You need to make it for yourself. But this gives you a general, hey, it's a fun event. If you're an Amigan or a Commodore person, I'm thinking this is the largest event in the United States that has everything really about Amiga, and it's got some of the current rock stars. You've got the Aeons like Trevor and Amiga kits there, and all these people that are popular still in the world of Amiga there at the events a lot of times. So if you want to meet them, drink with them, say hi to them. They're all very friendly, and they're just like you and me. They use the same toilets. They use the same stuff as we do. They're no more special. Maybe a little bit. But they're just common dudes, and they're fun to be around with and chat and drink with. So I invite you to come attend the event and experience it for yourself. So anyway, a quick walk around video of me walking around, chatting about the event and showing off some tables. And then that will wrap it up. So my Amiwest 2023 was great. I'm now freshly back. I did buy something. I spent $90 on the Enhancer 2.2 for my X5000. I've been back in the 1.5 days for years. They've had this version 2 for a while now. I decided to buy the hard copy from Amiga Kit when I was there. So I put my money forward, and I'm trying to do my part to help keep Amiga running, even though I'm down on it sometimes, and I'm not happy with everything in the world of Amiga. I still do my best to try to support it while I'm a customer, and I own an X5000, and so I went ahead and said, maybe it's time for me to upgrade, try to get excited about it again, and in a year from now, come back and ask me how that went. Maybe in a year from now, things are great. Maybe some new stuff has happened, and the world of Amiga is settling down and getting away from the legal crap that drives me nuts, and just into a smooth, okay, let's build on type of this and build up and onwards. That's what I look forward to and why I'm still part of this community. So I did my part. I spent some money at a major Amiga retailer, and I look forward to my 2024, and hopefully next year I come back even more excited. So anyway, watch the walk around. Hopefully you get a little flavor for what Amiwest is all about. If you have any questions, post them down below. I'll do my best to answer. But anyway, that's it. Amiwest 2023 is out the door. Holiday season is upon us. I've got lots of fun things to look forward to for the rest of 2023. And thanks for watching the video. Watch the walk around now and enjoy. Bye. Good morning, folks. Amiwest, Sunday morning. I do not have a hangover, but I'm a little slow. So let's do a little walk around Amiwest for 2023. I'm going to just show you some stuff before it gets busy. Let's switch around the camera here. So this is the room where they do all the conferences during the day, the seminars per se. Nice big room, plenty of chairs. There's Bill's station, and that's where a presenter can be, showing off all of the goodness that Amiga is bringing for this year. So, busy room. Last night it was actually same as the banquet room. They take this big middle part down and then move some of these tables out of the way. So from that blue curtain there all the way here are tables. We had about 70, I would say, people at the banquet last night. Lots of stuff flowed last night. That's why I'm saying I don't have a hangover, but I'm a little slow this morning. I actually cut myself off at about midnight and stayed till about 1 a.m., then drifted back over to my hotel. So let's walk around. Some of these things, have you ever heard, and I've never heard of the Los Gatos Amigas? Look at some of these interesting, I'm getting a light glare here. There we go, that's a little better. Look at these possible Amigas that never happened. Those look pretty cool. That kind of makes me think of an Apple IIc, right? A little bit. Here's another one. This, I think, is owned by Chris Collins. I don't know if he owns it now, but here is actual plastics and keyboard that show what this stuff would have looked like. Here's the face plates. So kind of interesting history if you're an Amiga buff, what some of this stuff looked like. And here's the little plaque, the Los Gatos Amigas. Here's another table. I'll just show some stuff as I pan around. And this is Amiga Zorro Expansion Story. So that's what this table was all about. Here's another table. And everything, it's not officially open yet, normally about 10 a.m. So not tons of people in here. That's why I thought I'd run in and try to do a quick little video. Here, you've actually got Acorn. Believe it or not, this show is mostly Commodore and Amiga, but there are some different platforms that can and will show. Like I showed last year with my Speccy Next and Speccy Omni laptop. Here is an Amiga X5000. Somebody playing with it. The owner, I believe. Let's circle around. Kind of give you a essence of what the room looks like here. And it was pretty dang busy yesterday. Like I said, the banquet at night was 70. So I think at any given time you have 50, 60, 70 people, maybe a little bit more at times walking through here. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Just making a little bit of a video for my YouTube channel, showing off some stuff before it gets too busy. This whole area is all about SCSI. So that was a SCSI card booth, and this is Rabbit Hole, which has all these type of SCSI adapters. That'll let you put SD cards and all sorts of things and all sorts of other computers. I should probably show the little plaque here, Rabbit Hole Computing. You can always pause the camera, or pause the video and take a look and read it. A lot of this stuff hasn't been turned on yet because, like I said, the show hasn't officially started this morning. People normally dragging from drinking too much last night. It's supposed to start at 10. That doesn't always happen. How you doing? I'm just making a little bit of a video for my YouTube channel. Show some folks that can't attend what the event's like. So,
Want to get some of my gameplay on there?
Yeah, go for it. This game is pretty phenomenal. I watched yesterday, so right there I would be dead.
Yeah. The actual release will be easier. This is just for me to show off.
Yeah.
So don't worry too much.
Well, my video game play is kind of funny. I'm not that great. I can be really good at a few games like Dig Dug, those type of things.
That's a good one to be good at.
Yeah, I love Dig Dug. Puka and Figar. Yeah. But yeah, I know that you've really used every crevice of power from an Amiga to make this game happen.
Yeah, maybe not as crazy as what the demo scene is doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am hitting the bare metal with assembly.
Sweet. And the name of so is it Magic Core Anomala?
Anomala.
Anomala. There
It's
you
called
go.
Magic Core for short.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think you said yesterday 2025-ish, you're thinking
Yeah,
game.
I'm going to have a public demo playable next year. And then full release 2025. And aside from Amiga, I'll have it on Steam and everything.
Sweet.
Yeah, so
Nice.
you should keep an eye out.
Will for sure. I don't see. Can you do this same type of thing with an Atari? I'm an Atari. I mean, look at my shirt, right? I'm an Atari kid.
What are you doing here?
Exactly.
This is the point. I was thinking about the blitter and bit plates, and it's like, what's something you can only do with this hardware? And that's how I got the idea for this game in the first place.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wonder if an Amiga 1 X5000 or Amiga X5000 would be able to play this game possibly through its emulating capabilities.
We're probably going to try it later today, actually.
Are you?
Yeah, on a Bill's machine.
Sweet.
Yeah, so we'll get an answer soon.
Okay, well, I'll be checking that out. Thanks for showing me a quick glimpse of the game.
Thank you.
What's your name again?
Dan Salvato.
Awesome. Nice. Thanks for coming to the show.
Thanks.
Yep. Amiga 1200. I've never owned a 1200. A1000, A500, 4000 Ti I actually owned. This little booth here was for a high score. It looks like it's up to 154 or 510. Nightmare high score. So I call this computer the Striper. If you're an 80s metal band type of person, you're a Striper. But yeah, they have a competition going where you can play these games, and whoever gets the high score wins this trophy. Very fun. They've been doing that at this event for a while now. So, and here's a Mister. I've never owned a Mister, but look at how sweet that looks. And he's very color conscious and coordinated. You got the purples, you got the yellows. So very fun. This area is all about a whole bunch of older Commodores. There's an A600. And here's a, I owned a +4 at one time. Sweetest looking little computer, isn't it? And he's got all these computers set up ready for folks to play. There's a VIC-20. And some more. And there we go. Cool. Now we're starting to get a little bit more busy here. Some people haven't showed up yet. Like that table, there's people normally there. Some bring their stuff back to the hotel room and then bring it all and set it all back up. Amiwest 3.3 Alpha. And here's a little Commodore setup for that. Nothing here. This is Amiga kit, actually, so he'll probably be setting up all his stuff. These two tables, this table, and this table was all Amiga kit stuff. I purchased yesterday some stuff. I spent $90 and I got the newest enhancer. So maybe I'll try to take a picture of this later. But like I said, it's Sunday morning before the event. And hi, Steven.
Hello.
LD, Steven's buttocks.
Don't point that thing at me. I'll take away my soul.
That's right. No graven images.
No, it's more like they're actually pretty cool.
Sack guy, been with this club from day one.
Who was original?
Yeah.
My daughter was an original at the original '98, and she was sitting beside me, and she wouldn't stand up or wait, put her hand.
Oh, she was bashful, shy. Yeah. A1000 Parchero 2. Showed that. Sweet looking computer. Then they have the nice Checkmate. Checkmate case, keyboard. Mr. Toast doing repairs on stuff. Hi.
So, yeah, I plan on.
All right, keep panning around. Amiga 500, Amiga 2000. So a lot of the older Amigas are here. People's got systems out. Oh, look at, now that is what my back bedroom looks like. No, actually not that. I don't have stuff quite hanging on each other like that, but it can be close. So this yesterday had actually an Atari Mega STE right here. And then they just got the Silicon Graphics computer here. I'll try to, like I said, take some pictures later, but I wanted to pop in here, just take a quick video. Watched the presentation on this yesterday. So sweet way to connect modern day controller to older computers. How you doing? I watched your presentation yesterday. I'm making just a quick video for my YouTube channel of a walk-around Amiwest. So I actually own the 800XL, so I may have to get one of these days. So
Basically, it's Bluetooth controllers connecting to this device, that plugs into the joystick port.
Yep.
So I can play games. This is a twin-stick game, so I can control both joysticks from the same gamepad. So movement and fire, all from the same controller.
Sweet. Yeah, wireless mouse and joystick, modern for older, and also you got Amiga, and then all of these currently right here.
Yeah, it works for C64, Amigas, Atari 8-bit.
How about Atari 16-bit?
Yeah, it works. For the Atari ST, what the problem is that sometimes the joysticks are,
Yes, in a unique spot and crevice that's way underneath.
You can use the Amiga version, and it works. You need adapter cables.
Okay.
And also from the console, there's a mode that says change the mouse simulation to Atari ST, and you can have mouse simulation there.
Sweet. I may have to try that one day. I'm more of an, as you can see, an Atari person, but I have a lot of friends here at Amiga, and I do own a X5000, so I do own Amiga 1, but I've had a lot of the older Amigas and just moved on from them because my heart's in older Atari, but I still love all the platforms, so.
Perfect. Yeah, the Atari is 800 XL model, and also Atari 8-bits. Some of them they support mouse emulation. Some applications they do some kind of software emulation.
Right.
For the mouse, and also it works.
Cool. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming to the show. I enjoyed your presentation yesterday.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, continue walking around. So here's Saks. Basically from the front door. This is all the Sack Club, and they've been selling all of the stuff from the old Abyss. And they just got lots of old hardware, software, you name it. So if you're looking for some old nitty-gritty things, their table is normally packed with all these kind of things. So, and then here's a very unique looking Amiga. Everybody's got their own flavor, their own tastes. And like I said, people were in this room until at least 2 or 3 a.m. this morning. So you see a lot of carnage of stuff left over from last night, and people are probably still asleep right now. It's a little bit early. Was there a plaque on that table? I don't think so. So I'm just going to pan around, show you some stuff. Folks are running. And here's the 10-minute Amiga Retrocast. He's normally got a number of tables, as you can see. And Doug loves Atari. 10-minute Amiga Retrocast. So he is here. I think he does a presentation later today. And he's got an Atari 7800. I've never had one of those. And then here's Mr. Toast.
I work with RF on the Army side, so I want to see.
I'm panning around, just making a quick video for my channel. I always forget to do it. Hi, Doug.
Hey there, how you doing? Looking forward to seeing your Amiwest video.
Yes, and it's just going to be a quick walk around before the business of the day happens. I thought I'd run in here and do it, so.
Just do not let anyone see this.
I already did.
Atari. You never saw this.
There it is. Nice seeing you again, buddy. So I think that is it. So, it's a pretty big area. This is not a huge, a Macworld kind of event, but plenty of tables, and it's grown in the last number of years. And like I said, the banquet last night, hi, come on in, was about 70 people. So the Sunday morning is just getting started, and maybe I'll take some pictures later. So that's it. I think I'm going to wrap it up. Have a great rest of your day, folks. Bye. Well, I got to end it on a screen of something. Here we go. We'll end it on Sam's journey. Goodbye.